So let's take you into Modulean. And what is Modulean and why did we create it? So we recognise that there's been a growing demand for shadow boards and Viscom boards as more and more companies are introducing processes such as 5S and Lean into their workplace. What we also noticed was just how difficult it is and time consuming to be able to, and actually costly, you know, the whole process of purchasing and sourcing these kind of shadow boards, which often have to be made bespoke for an organisation. So we created Modulean. It's a full range of off-the-shelf, ready-to-buy shadow boards and Viscom boards that can be used perfectly well on their own, so individually, or they can be used as part of a modular system. Our range of accessories work with the board so you can enhance and customise them as much as you need to, and we'll take you through that and show you just how that can be done.
So, what is 5S? As you've probably worked out now, the name Modulean has been put together from the fact that the range is, as Steph mentioned earlier, a modular range, so no frame, so they can be built and butted together for the customer to make their own Viscom shadow board system, and Lean, or 5S. So 5S basically comprises of 5 S's, not 6, which some people have pointed out, and I'll show you why in a second. So you have the 5 main categories for Lean. So the S's stand for sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. What will happen when you have all those 5 processes in place? It will then equal safety, which is the 6S that some people refer to. So it is it's quite a focus for a lot of companies we're finding at the moment for our reseller network, that people are wanting to implement this to create a safe environment for their staff.
Over to you again, Chris.
Goodness, sorry about that, guys. Being our first live webinar, we are sort of not quite Eamon and his wife. I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Ruth.
Ruth, of course, who obviously Steph's a lot younger than that. So we will get it rolling fairly soon, so just bear with us. So the Modulean range currently consists of 7 options, and it's available in 4 different colour types, from which the customer can select which option or colour type they may want. The beauty, as we've mentioned before, of the Modulean range is its scalability and flexibility, and it allows the customer to build their own Viscom and shadow board system at their own pace. We do look out for new additions. This is very much not the finished article. These are the 7 options we've created with Jim and research that him and his team have done. But we're open to suggestions and ideas from you guys who are on the front line and your expertise on any additions you feel we could be adding to this Modulean range.
Thank you, Chris. So moving on to what you get with your Modulean board. So most items in the description and imagery are provided. I'll give you an example. So with the shadow boards, you'll get everything that's on there. The mop bucket, the mop, the broom, and even the first aid kits. There is one exception. This is the spray cleaning bottle that comes on one of the shadow boards. A number of reasons for this. One of those is cosh, so you know, just being compliant with that. But the other thing is just kind of the whole point and purpose of Modulean is actually to give customers flexibility, so that they can. So it doesn't have to be a you know, a bespoke board that they're ordering. So what we've done. What Jim and his team have done really clearly is made sure it's a universal clip that can work with most spray bottles. So if you need it to be a window cleaner, a glass cleaner, a floor cleaner, or any other kind of solution in there, then that can easily be used and applied. What's really, really great about the Modulean to make it bespoke is that every single board is supplied with the title frame. So that's the example that you can see here on this slide. And that enables you to customize it as and how you need to. So you can put your own text in there, you can put your own brand in there. You can put, for example, with the wet cleaning board we just spoke about, the name of the solution in the bottle. So there's so many different ways in which you can use it, and you'll start to see how the accessories work beautifully with Modulean.
So what we'll do, if it's okay with you guys, and you're still with us, so thanks for bearing with us, we're going to take you through the Modulean board, Viscom board and shadow board options. We mentioned there's 7 for you. So what we'll do is Steph and her lovely hand will click through to the first board option that we have, which is the 5S information board. This board here is provided to give your staff or your customer staff an insight into the benefits and what the 5S process is all about. There is an A3 frame for dock, which can be purchased as an accessory for the range that's supplied with the board, and here you can insert, or the customer can insert their own message as they wish to display to the staff. So that's option 1. Option 2, my lovely colleague here will flick onto.
And just to be clear, I think that A3 insert, the A3 frame comes as standard with...
Sorry, yeah, it comes fitted as you see. As you see the board with the title frame and the A3 insert, that is supplied.
There we go.
So option 2 now is the notice board, and this is used in conjunction with the frames for docs, which hopefully you guys will be familiar with. If you're not, obviously at the Q&A session, you can ask us about these, or we can deal with this at a later stage for you and explain more about the frames for docs. But the board, as you can see, as Steph mentioned, is supplied with 4 of the A4 frames for docs. And again here, this is the notice board used for staff to update them on various procedures, any important messages, health and safety updates, etc. That wish to be displayed. The beauty of the frames for docs obviously is that the document can be removed very easily and replaced with a different message at the customer's own timing.
And just a point to note at this point is the different colours that Modulean comes in. So most of the boards you'll find come in our blue, red, green and yellow. And this is really because in most industrial places, workplaces, you know, they follow a colour code system, which usually consists of these 4 strong colours in the workplace.
Good point. And the third and final one currently of the Viscom boards we've got is the Easy White magnetic board. This comes, as shown, with the title frame, but this is used to write on with a wet white pen, any maybe urgent communications that need to be done, anything that needs to be actioned, and it's left on there until it's actioned. The customer can then wipe the message off with a wet cloth, and the board is free, clean and ready to go again for new messages.
Personally, I think this is an absolutely fantastic board, and it's a great addition to the Modulean range because it really does give that extra bit of kind of customizing to the whole station. You know, if you're going to use it as the workstation, then you've got a whiteboard. Essentially, you can put all of your kind of urgent messages on there, or recent communications. It's
a good point. It's one of my favourite boards as well, which sounds quite sad, but effectively what you'll find with shadow boards is that you'll get a shadow board, you'll get the appliances that go with that, but that will be that. Whereas this range allows you to have this wipe on, wipe off message board that can be sat next to a shadow board, which again makes it quite a unique system against the current shadow boards that are available out there.
So I'm going to take you through the shadow boards, the 4 shadow boards that we currently have in the range. As Chris mentioned earlier, this is planned to be an expanding range, which we will carefully craft based on customer feedback and feedback from your good sales as the resellers. So Modulean shadow boards have been designed to help organise and keep track of your tools in the workplace. Each board defines where particular tools should be placed when they're not in use, and this allows employees to identify when tools are missing from their correct workstation. The first one I'm going to introduce you to is the cleaning dry. So this really is for dry cleaning, exactly as it says. It has a black dustpan and brush. But one of the great innovations from Jim and his team, really simple innovation, but really great, is that we have for the different colour boards, each accessory on there will be provided with the matching colour-coded band. So in this example, you can clearly see that the dustpan and the brush are matching with the correct colour-coded band, and this allows people to put them back into the right place on the right workstation so that there is no cross-contamination.
you'll find that in some instances, and in a lot of instances, for example, the cleaning board dry might be used in various locations within the same company. So people are very fond of taking out the appliances and leaving them or not replacing them back. Again, the colour coding allows the correct tools to be put back into the correct location and area, which we, again, from research, found that quite an important factor.
Excellent. And so this is the cleaning board wet. This does come complete with the handheld dispenser and hand towels. But as we previously mentioned, it doesn't actually come with the spray bottle, but the universal clip there enables most spray bottles to be used for this. So really, really easy just to apply in the workplace. Simple as that. I don't think there's much more to say on that particular one. Again, you get your title board or your title frame, so you can customise it as and how you wish. And this is board 6. And this really does show the great design of Modulean, because actually this is where we have used 2 standard Modulean boards to create the extra large cleaning board, and this comes complete with the mop, the bucket, the broom, and also the A-frame, which really cleverly, again, we've provided with the frame for dock, so that you can customize it with whatever message, hazard message, urgent message that you need to put there, and you can have a series of them, of course, so you can use different ones depending on what's just been happening there. And last but not least, our first aid board, which does come complete with a first aid kit. This will service 11 to 20 people, and an A4 black frame. So you can put in there whatever you like. It might be who the first aider is in the workplace, along with when the last first aid kit was checked and updated.
So what we have with the Modulean range also is an expanding range of accessories that can be used with the range. We've talked about a few of these already, but the beauty of this really means that, again, a unique part of the Modulean range is that a standard board can be customised, personalised very simply, very cost effectively and very easily for your customer. So just to run you through a few, in the first picture there you can see our frame to docks, which we've mentioned before. These are available in the 5 different colours, which works with the 5S colour coding system. This allows you to display documents and switch document messages over quite easily and simply. The middle photo there you have is our ring binder and ring binder cover. So this comes in 4 or 2 ring option, and this allows the customer to store multiple documents in one place and have a reference point for staff to go back to without having to hunt around for different files and folders. It also comes with a color coded cover, so again it can be color coded to a specific topic or I'm struggling for a word there, Steph. What do you think?
Well, just kind of for any presentation or just yeah, I guess any subject matter or anything that needs to be kind of
dealt with. She dug me out of a hole there. Thank you very much. The third picture with there is the rainbow pockets that we have. These magnetic rainbow pockets, called because, as you can see, the array of colours that are available. These again allow you an industrial type pocket, strength pocket to display documents and messages that are required.
Thank you, Chris. And so Chris is now going to take us through some examples of where actually you can use Modulean in the workplace, because we do go beyond the industrial workplace with these fabulous boards too.
So, for example, there's the image shows meeting rooms. Again, there's a 5S board that you can see there, which again will give the staff more of an insight into the 5S lean process. A notice board could be displaying various sales figures, could be displaying various messages for staff, etc., and then the wipe on, wipe off board. Just as a case study for you, without wishing to bore you too much, but for example, one of our resellers has sold 8 of the wipe on, wipe off boards only, and this was put into a training facility where they occupied one whole width of a wall, and they had then a simple write on, wipe off brainstorming board system, which works very well for them. So again, me and Steph, as you probably worked out, find this board our favourite, and it was nice to see how that was used. Other areas that it can be used in are offices. obviously might not be so obvious, but most offices will need a first aid station. Again, an explanation into the 5S process and what it all benefits to the team and staff. A wipe on, wipe off board and a notice board. But again, as you can see, it can be fitted very neatly, tidily in a wall, and also add a very visual, prominent display for the office.
I love how they've got a to-do list there as well with all their bits and bobs that they can just wipe on and off.
Not quite as long as your to-do list, though, is it?
No.
Okay, the next area is warehouses and factories. Quite often these days now you'll find they have a big information central board system within a factory or warehouse where on a Monday morning they will gather all the staff together and update them on latest health and safety procedures, picking inventory, messages from the company. And this is often quite a hard board for people to create or to source. And obviously this wonderful Modulean range now allows them to do that. And of course it's a permanent information centre for staff to refer back to during the week if they need to remind themselves on certain issues and what have you. But a great way to use the boards. And of course, you'll find that these boards can be used in many, many more locations. Washrooms, in schools, very important with the janitorial side of things, with the, who looks after a school? What's the technical name for the man who looks after a school?
The caretaker.
The caretaker, so there you go.
I was going to say janitor, but that's American.
It's very American stuff. So yes, it can be used in many, many other areas, which you'll find is the beauty of promoting a product range like this is that you've got so many customers to aim it at.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Chris. So there's a great example of some ways in which the Modulean range can be applied in a workplace. There are many more, of course. I just want to wrap this up before we go into Q&A with what we offer you as the reseller. So we always support our resellers as much as we can. And with Modulean, we have a whole reseller pack available to you. We will email you the link to this following the webinar. Meanwhile, get in touch if you've got any questions. But inside your reseller pack, you will have access to a Modulean flyer. So this can be customized to suit your brand. And if you need help customizing it, we can help you with that. So do get in touch. There is also the full image library. So all of the images that you've seen in today's slides and many more that you can use. And video, which I'll say with a caveat, because the video isn't quite ready yet, but as soon as it is, it'll be added to the reseller pack for you. Also, the copy. So what I mean by copy is basically all of the description text and the proposition and anything that, all the writing about Modulean really for you to be able to use online, on your digital marketing and also on your printed marketing. There is also the end user personas. So this just reminds you of who it is you might need to be talking to within your end user environment, who the decision makers are for these types of products. And last of all, the pricing. So there'll be the recommended RRP and some guidelines around pricing to help you get it out there in the marketplace at the relevant price.
And just to add to that, there will be myself or Joe Glaze, my colleague, who will be on hand to help and answer any questions you may have. But also back here at Beaver HQ, we've got a reseller support team that, again, are on hand to answer any questions. So anything you feel you need to ask about after the webinar or further information that comes through, pick the phone up and we'll be delighted to help you.
Thank you, Chris. Now, just before I move into our Q&A session, we're about to answer your questions, so thank you for them. I would just like to say this is the first of a series of live webinars that we're going to be doing at Beaverswood. So the whole purpose of them is to support you as a reseller, but also for our end users so they can learn everything they need to know about products that we're manufacturing and creating here at Beaverswood. So thank you very much for your support. Your feedback will be really welcome. So if you could rate this webinar afterwards, again, that will just really help us to improve, to be able to support you even further going forward.
Be nice, please.
So I'm just going to move into the next screen so we can view your Q&A. So just bear with us.
Feel free to type any questions in, guys, that you might want, and we will be here on hand to answer these for you. So don't be shy. It's just a typing of a question, and
Excellent.
See
And
what
the
we can
first
do.
one we've just had come through was from Tommy. Do you do a fire safety board? And are you going to be adding more boards in the future? So, Jim, can you answer about the fire safety board?
Yeah, it's one area that we're looking at. Certainly fire will be part of stage 2, as well as more first aid boards, hygienic boards such as hygienic wipes, hand sanitizers, and things like that. So come the new year, watch this space.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And do we have any more questions?
Don't be shy, guys.
Okay.
It's only me.
Hopefully that means we've just done a really good job, Chris.
Do you think? Do we high five that?
High five. I won't leave you hanging. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. Really appreciate it. What we'll do is we will share with you the recording of this webinar. So hopefully you can share with your team if you're going to find this useful. And as I said, we'll follow it up with a link for the reseller pack too. Thank you very much for your time. This is our first live Beaverswood webinar, and many more will follow. Thank you.
So it's goodbye from her.
And goodbye from him.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.